everyone. Welcome to today's Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're here with us. If you're an English learner who ever just kind of freezes up trying to choose between those small but honestly incredibly important words, well, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're diving into a masterclass on what I like to call the modal trio. That's should, could, and would. Our goal today is super simple but really powerful. By the end of this explainer, you're going to know exactly how to use these three little words to instantly sound way more natural, super polite, and undeniably confident in your everyday English conversations. Okay, let's just dive right in. Here's our roadmap for today. Number 1, we'll meet the modal trio. 2, should for good advice. 3, could for possibilities. 4, would for polite preferences. 5, we'll look at some real-world conversations. And 6, we'll test your knowledge. Let's get started. Section 1, meet the modal trio. Let's lay the groundwork for the basics of should, could, and would. Now, visual memory is literally a game changer for language learning, so check out the intentional color coding we're using here. We've got someone ready to take notes, just like you might be, surrounded by 3 distinct colored icons: a green thumbs up, a blue thought bubble, and a yellow coffee cup. These line up perfectly with should, could, and would. We're going to use these 3 colors, green, blue, and yellow, as our mental anchors throughout this explainer. So the next time you find yourself hesitating mid-conversation, you can just picture these colors and icons to guide you right to the perfect word. So, what's the ultimate goal here? It's making your English sound completely natural and polite. Native speakers use these words constantly, like all the time, just to soften their language, because without them, English can actually sound a bit too direct, or even kind of bossy. We've got 3 main pillars here. The green box for should is all about advice or recommendation. The blue box for could opens the door to ability, possibilities, or a polite request. And that yellow box for would, that's for expressing a preference, a polite offer, or dreaming up an imaginary situation. These 3 little words carry a massive amount of social weight in English culture. Let's move on to our first specific word. Section 2, should for good advice. This is all about giving recommendations and setting expectations. All right, so the crucial takeaway here is that should is basically your green light for giving good advice. Think about going to a doctor. When they see you, they don't usually force you to do things, right? Instead, they give you their expert recommendation on the right actions to take for your health. And that is exactly the vibe of the word should. When you use it, you're offering a strong, really positive suggestion. It's all about what's best, what's expected, or what's simply a good idea. Like, you should call your parents, or we should leave now so we don't miss our train. It's helpful, it's not bossy. Let's look at this classic example. You should exercise every day. Listen to the calm, steady pacing of that sentence. I'm not commanding you. I'm not saying you must exercise, which, let's be honest, sounds like a strict military order. By using should, I'm just offering you a friendly piece of wisdom. Try saying it out loud to yourself right now. You should exercise every day. Notice how natural and helpful that feels? That's the sheer power of our green modal verb. Excellent. Now, let's shift gears to section 3, could for possibilities. This covers past abilities and polite requests. Okay, we're moving from green to blue. The blue thought bubble is all about options, paths you can take, or just things that are possible. Could is an incredibly versatile word. First off, it's the past tense of can, so saying something like, I could swim when I was 6, describes a past ability. But honestly, for daily conversation, its real superpower is softening a request or a suggestion. If you're trying to figure out plans with a friend, you might say, we could watch a movie tonight. See? It's just an option. It leaves the door wide open for them to say, or we could go get dinner. It creates this really gentle, collaborative atmosphere. And here is where could absolutely shines for English learners. Could you help me? Imagine you're at work or out on the street and you need a hand. Saying, can you help me is perfectly fine, but it's very literal and direct. You're basically asking if they have the physical ability to help you. You're asking them to lift a car. But if you just swap that can out for could and say, could you help me? Oh wow, it instantly skyrockets your politeness. It gives the listener a really graceful way to say yes or no. It's literally your secret weapon for sounding completely respectful in any situation. Moving right along to section 4, would for polite preferences. Here we'll explore imaginary situations and polite offers. Welcome to the yellow zone, symbolized by that nice, warm cup of coffee. Would is probably the most elegant word in our modal trio. We use it to express preferences, what you want, but phrased way more politely. If you're being a good host, you use would to make an offer, like, would you like some tea? It just sounds so inviting and sophisticated, right? It's also your passport to imaginary situations. Like that bottom example. I would travel the world if I had enough money. You're dreaming. You're hypothesizing about a reality that doesn't quite exist yet. Would bridges the gap between reality and your imagination. Take a look at this absolutely crucial phrase. I would like a coffee. Now, if you walk into a cafe and say, I want a coffee, sure, they'll understand you. But to a native ear, want sounds just a little bit demanding, kind of like a kid demanding a toy. By simply changing I want to I would like, you instantly shift the tone from a demand to a very polite preference. This one single change is honestly one of the fastest, most immediate ways to improve how natural you sound in English-speaking environments. Now that we've explored all three, let's jump into Section 5, Real-World Conversations, and see how we synthesize these rules in action. Okay, here is your master cheat sheet. Seriously, feel free to grab a screenshot of this if it helps your study routine. Notice how we've got our three pillars side by side. Green for should, advice, recommendation, expectation. Blue for could, ability, possibility, polite request. And yellow for would, preference, polite offer, imaginary situation. Seeing them lined up next to each other like this really helps clarify the boundaries between them. You aren't just memorizing definitions, you're actually learning the feeling and the core purpose of each word. And to make it even easier to recall when you're in the middle of a fast-paced conversation, I want you to lock these 3 memory tips into your brain. If you're about to give advice, reach for should. If you're thinking about what someone can do or a possibility, soften it with could. And if you are about to say what you want, instantly upgrade that politeness by using would instead. Advice, can, want translates directly to should, could, would. It's a super simple mental bridge. Let's watch this unfold in a completely natural, everyday scenario. Look at this text message exchange. Person A says, I have a headache. Person B jumps in with helpful advice using our green word, you should see a doctor. Then person A makes a polite request for assistance using our blue word, could you come with me? And person B graciously accepts using the yellow word to express their preference. Yes, I would be happy to help. Do you see how beautifully they all flow together? It's not just a grammar exercise. It's the actual rhythm of human connection and empathy expressed right through the modal trio. All right, you've learned the theory, you've seen the examples, and now it is time for Section 6, Test Your Knowledge. Let's do a quick interactive quiz. Take a deep breath. I am going to show you 3 sentences with missing words. Just rely on those color cues we talked about, green for advice, blue for requests and possibilities, yellow for preferences. Read the sentence, figure out the context, and guess the right word in your head before I reveal it. Ready? Here we go. Okay, look at sentence number 1. You blank drink more water. So is this a preference, a possibility, or good advice? It's advice, right? So the answer is our green word. You should drink more water. Awesome. Now sentence number 2. Blank, you open the window. You're asking someone to do something. You want to be polite, and you're making a request based on their ability to help. So we use the blue word, could you open the window? And finally, sentence number 3. I blank like some ice cream. You're at a cafe expressing a polite preference, totally replacing the word want. The answer is our yellow word. I would like some ice cream. How'd you do? If you got them all right, fantastic job. If you missed one, no worries at all. Just review our color-coded master guide. Well, that brings us to the end of our masterclass. Remember our golden rule. Practice these 3 words every single day, and your English is undeniably going to sound more natural and polite. The modal trio, should, could, and would. Sure, they are small words, but they completely change how you're perceived by native speakers. They show empathy, respect, and real confidence. So, I want to leave you with this final provocative thought to take out into the real world. The very next time you walk into a cafe, the next time a friend asks for help, or the next time someone needs your advice. Which of these 3 words are you going to use first to show off your newly upgraded English skills? Think about it. Keep practicing, keep visualizing those colors, and I will see you in the next explainer.
Subscribe for more English tips.